5,331 business trips in 2 years. One more time. The state of New York's official business agents, the Secretary of State, sent me 496 pages for a 2-year period of 5,331 business trips by New York State official business representatives. In other words, the state of New York conducting business. 5,331 business trips in just 2 years to North Carolina. Now, this is a message to the federal courts of the United States, and particularly the United States Supreme Court, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals in Charlotte, Virginia, the slave state, and Raleigh, North Carolina, and the Eastern District of the federal courts for North Carolina. Senior federal judge Terrance W. Boyle. The Secretary of State for New York State has delivered to me 496 pages of an Excel spreadsheet showing 5,331 official business trips to North Carolina in just 2 years. Now, I don't know about everybody else in the world, but the standards for minimum in-state contacts under the leading precedent case of international shoe has been exceedingly far surpassed. 5,331 official business trips, Judge Terrance W. Boyle, and all the upstream appellate judges that butchered, just absolutely butchered my due process and my equal protection rights, and my mother and father's equal protection rights and due process. The whole family has been subjected to the lies, just flat out lies, of federal judge Terrance W. Boyle and all of his little pals in the Eastern District Courts of the state of North Carolina, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals in Charlotte, Virginia, and even the United States Supreme Court are nothing but a bunch of judicial tyrants and liars. You see, ladies and gentlemen, 5,331 business trips in 2 years. Well, I can only imagine that over the past, 150 years, that New York State has literally conducted business in North Carolina hundreds of thousands of times. So, the minimum in-state contacts rule under the precedent-leading case of international shoe has been exceedingly far surpassed by the official admissions of the Secretary of State for New York State in a 496 pages listing 5,331 business trips to North Carolina, Judge Terrance W. Boyle, Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm calling you out on this one. This idea that I don't have the right to diversity of citizenship to litigate a case in federal court in North Carolina when the numbers of business trips that New York State officials admit to in North Carolina exceed 5,000 visits in just 2 years demonstrates that the in-state contacts of New York State and North Carolina are massive. Judge Terrance W. Boyle. Now, you can slice it any way you want to, but the business records of the state of New York reveal that your decision-making processes in blocking people's rights to litigate cases in court, it's built on fraud. It's called judicial fraud, judicial tyranny, and that's just the way you have to color that one, Judge Terrance W. Boyle. and all the other judges in the Eastern District federal courts for North Carolina, I think that this is a load of shit would apply very well. 5,331 official business trips into North Carolina to conduct business 5,331 times in 2 years. 2000, I guess it was 2018, 2019. Their 2020 figures aren't complete yet. And I've asked, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, for the records for the last 10 years and the dollar value of the business that's being conducted in North Carolina. In other words, New York State is conducting billions of dollars in state business in North Carolina. Far, far, far surpassing the minimum state contact rules of international shoe. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it right there. I'm absolutely pissed off on a royal scale against these, well, they're dishonorable judges. They're dishonorable. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it right there. As always, hasta la vista, God bless, and you betcha we will be back.